right, good morning, everyone. Interesting night last night. All right, so 4 games last night in the Fed, and so here we go. First game, again, I do these chronologically as how they start. Blue Ridge playing the second of three against Motor City, and Motor City handles things pretty solidly. A 5-2 victory in the game. Good crowd on hand. Over 1,300 in Fraser last night in the Big Boy Arena. I guess it was Autism Awareness Night, so always good when there's specialty nights going on. Anyway, so first goal of the game, Devin Fields with his first goal of the year. And it's a 12:59 of the first. Just less than a minute later, Jonathan Giuliano follows suit. We had a response from Blue Ridge, Vladislav. Kind of a freak goal, but hey, it goes in, it counts. So at the end of one, it is 2-1 Motor City. In the second period, Motor City kind of takes control of the game. Had a shorthanded goal by TJ Delaney, just 31 seconds in the period. In the third, again, trying to mount a comeback, Blue Ridge gets one from Ricard Zielinski, but that was it for the Bobcats last night. Had goals later on by Gaudet and Koash, and so there you go. 5-2 is the final. Connor Green, 28 saves on 33 shots. Meanwhile, both Giuliano, he had a goal and an assist for the second straight game, and Gaudet also a goal and assist. You had Trevor Babin stopping 28. And for the game, Motor City now improves to 17-9-4. They guarantee that they're going to hold on the second place in the Empire Division. And the Blue Ridge Bobcats, boy, they are just really struggling right now. 6-18-5. These two teams will play again this afternoon at 2:05. Of course, I'll be watching. So there you go. That's the first game. Watertown. Got something to add at the end of this. Watertown traveling to Danbury. Now, Watertown had a very weird weekend schedule. They played Friday night at home, traveled to Danbury for a Saturday game, and then traveled back for tonight against Elmira. So, yeah, talk about road warriors. And it's about a 4.5-hour trip in between Danbury and Watertown. So, yeah, Danbury, they were in control of this game early. We had Connor Woolley scoring at 3:40, 13:58. Stoyevsky, he scores. I have to look at his name in order to pronounce it correctly. And then we had a goal a minute and a half later by Zinchenko. Danbury had a big advantage in the first period with shots, 17-7. And Bouchard, once again, facing a lot of shots in that for Watertown. Meanwhile, Connor McCullum, not so much for Danbury. Now, Watertown did get in the board the last 15 seconds before the period ended. It was Twetton Blacksmith. Second period, again, Danbury just does his thing. Goal initially was credited to Stoyevsky. They changed it to McKittrick, and so it is now 4-1 Danbury at the end of two shots. At that point, 33-19. In the third, Stoyevsky, he scores a couple minutes in, so came a little short of a hat trick, but he still had a very good night. Watertown goals by Noah Doyle. And finally, with about 2.5 minutes left, Trevor Lord scores. There's your final 5-3. Blacksmith with a goal and an assist. Trevor Lord with that goal at the end. Meanwhile, for Danbury, Staszewski, 2 goals and an assist. And Connor Woolley also a goal and assist. So he's been playing well as of late. Connor McCollum stops 24 of 27. Eli Bouchard, 40 saves on the night. Now, last 14 seconds, Watertown pulled their goalie, and of course, because it's the Fed, the off-ice officials took that time off of McCollum rather than Bouchard. So once again, the stats are wrong. But it's fortunately it really doesn't matter too much in this case. It's only 14 seconds. But again, we're seeing a problem with stats being properly recorded. So there's another game coming up in just a little bit we're going to talk about. But anyway, good crowd, 2,900 plus on hand at Danbury. Good crowds all the way around last night. Watertown now 10, 18, and 2. They are solid in fourth place right now. Danbury in third still, but they have improved to 17, 12, and 2, and they continue to make some noise. All right. The blowout of the night, well, one of the two, but this one was really a blowout. Binghamton hosting Elmira before a sold-out crowd, and so yeah, it started right off the bat with Binghamton in control and just went through the whole game. Binghamton was kind of sloppy with some penalties. There were a lot of sloppy penalties on both sides in this game. Nothing malicious, nothing terrible, just very sloppy and lazy penalties. Again, both sides. So Thomas Ray, he scores the first goal for the Black Bears, 5:49. Kirkby follows at 12:38. Dakota Bond on the power play, 17:12. And there you go. It's 3-0 already at the end of one. Second period rolls around, and Gavin Yates and Don Olivieri, they score just 24 seconds apart from each other. So Eli Bowers, who started in goal for Elmira, he takes a seat. Sammy Bernard comes out, but now the problem is the plan was to have Bowers play last night and Bernard to play tonight at Watertown. So, fortunately, Elmira eliminates the goose egg. They get a score from David Gaeta, the 6:21. There was a play a little bit later in the period in which Elijah Wilson was called for a boarding, got a game misconduct boarding on Josh Fletcher that injured Fletcher on the play. It was not, again, a malicious play. It was a lazy play. Wilson had a fistful of jersey and then kind of delivered a straight arm. Fletcher was kind of off balance, fell awkwardly against the boards, and Fletcher did come back, fortunately. But anyway, a game misconduct to Wilson, and again, I don't see any suspension coming out of this because it was not a malicious play. It was just a freak thing. It happened. It was lazy and sloppy, and stuff like that happens sometimes. Fortunately, Fletcher was okay, came back out, scored an unassisted goal. So, okay, I'm fine. Third period starts. Bowers comes back in. So Sammy Bernard played for approximately 14 minutes. And so anyway, in the third period, had goals from Andrew Gar and another one from Olivieri. Larry Vartiainen adds a tally late for Elmira. There you go. It's 9-2 shots in this game, 44-19. Elmira, two things. Binghamton played good defense, but Elmira is gassed Again, they're in the midst of 10 games in 17 nights. That's just insane. So yeah, Elmira falls to 9-20-0. They're the first team with 20 losses. Binghamton improves to 22-3-6. Bowers for the night, 22 saves, 30 shots in 45-30 played. So anyway, for the Black Bears, you had 2 goals and an assist, both from Yates and Olivieri. Nolan Egbert got a rare start last night, stopped 17 of 19. All right, and then final game. Again, we had weird stats. Baton Rouge, the second of 2 games in Columbus, and this was all Columbus. 2 minutes in, Austin Doe scores for Columbus. Sturgeon adds a power play goal at 7:04. 11 seconds later, Carson Andrioli scores. And so there you go. It's already 3-0, and that was all that Columbus would need. But we had, a whole bunch of time left on the clock. So we play on. Scott Chirac scores for Baton Rouge at 15:30. So it's 3-1 at the end of one. Lot of shots for both teams. It was 17-14 in shots for Columbus at the end of one. Then things kind of settled down a little bit. In the second, this was a weird period for a short period of time. Baton Rouge pulled goaltender William Lavalier, but they did not pull him for over 10 minutes. So that's why I put him in green, because this is what got recorded, and this is wrong. But anyway, Kyle Moore scores an empty netter at 4:06. Tyler Larwood scores with the extra attacker. So I'm not really sure what MJ Graham was thinking, what his objective was, whether it was just to kind of try and wake his players up. But it was weird having an empty net for quite a few minutes in the second period. Nonetheless, third period, and there's a thumbnail right there. 300th Fed game played and 100th goal by Jay Croop. That really got the crowd fired up. Understandably, I mean, Cooper's been with the club since right at the very beginning. Cody Wickline, he scores a shorthanded goal for 11:53, and there we go. It's a 6-2 final. So Baton Rouge now 7-18-3. Columbus 24-3-2. 4,100 plus on hand at the Columbus Civic Center. So Lavalier, this is what the league recorded. 32 out of 37, but Columbus had 43 shots on goal. There weren't 6 empty net goals. So go figure. So I just wrote down what was on the Fed page. Obviously, it's wrong. And again, this is the third time this weekend that a goalie's stats have gotten messed up. And I've got to sit there and go, why? Why is this happening again? Anyway, on to other things. Tyler Roy, who has asserted himself as the number 1 goaltender for the River Dragons since his return from the SP, he stops 26 of 28. Austin Doe with a goal and assist. Kyle Moore, another goal and assist. He is red hot. Josiah Rowan, he just got signed this last weekend. He ended up getting 2 helpers for the Zydeco. And, of course, Larwood and Chirac were the goal scorers. So there you go. There are the games from last night. Baton Rouge playing Motor City. If Blue Ridge can win this game, they would pull into 5th place past Baton Rouge. Elmira and Watertown take place 7:05 later. Hopefully Trevor Lord is okay. He was in a car accident on the way home. His car was pretty well mangled, but from what I understand, he is okay. So hopefully he plays tonight. So, all right, there you go. We will have stars and standings tomorrow, as well as a recap on Facebook Live for these two games. All right, have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your week. If you're living in the Northeast, be safe out there. It's snowing again.